Hello, anyone who happens upon this video. I say hello. You're happening upon it right now. It's pretty amazing. I, in my life, am still bedridden. I've been here for, I think today's day 6 or 5, and I made another video a few days ago, so I haven't moved since then. I'm in the same exact spot. I've kind of maybe twirled around a bit, but I'm in the same place. So this morning I've been thinking a little bit about the way, like, all of the other people who likewise are sitting unproductively in beds or on the floor. So many old people, so many injured people, and of course it makes me think of all of those who sit with their fingers, glued to little video game controllers, and that's a similar thing. That, like, our society has this huge loss of productivity. I guess that we send two messages out, and one is that we, as a country, are incredibly industrious, and everyone's really busy, and nobody has any time. And on the other hand, everyone, for the most part, is spending a great amount of their day playing video games and watching movies and essentially being entertained. So, which one's true? Are they both true? Is it true that we just work hard and play hard? Or is it that actually a lot of the productivity, a lot of the creation of things that people need has been automated, is now in the train or the territory of robots and oil? Pretty much everything gets mechanized, and so therefore we can afford to have an incredibly high amount of the population laying around, sitting around, eating too much food, not getting enough exercise. And so I guess that in my inactivity, I'm having much more of a common experience with the people of my country. So I'm getting a unique perspective on their vantage point. They're laying down. They're not vertically oriented. They're horizontal. And, the human race was never that good at being vertical. We don't like, we say that we're the featherless biped, but we don't like that very much. We like much more to be laying down or sitting. Chairs are really popular. If you go into a room without any chairs, people kind of stand around nervously. So this lack of productivity is, I think, really common. And so there's kind of this myth that everyone needs to be busy, everyone needs to be active, everyone needs to be industrious and creating things and working 9 to 5. And even though on some level some of that needs to happen, right? There needs to be a few people pushing buttons and a few people taking money and putting them in cash registers. And so it's like we give those jobs to the young. It's the initiation into society to go make minimum wage, watching incredible amounts of money flow through the cash register. I remember that was such an experience. It's like the realization that I was making, in essence, just one transaction. I was making the amount of money as one transaction that flowed through the cash register, and I was doing, 100 of those, at grocery stores, at movie theaters, etc. To I guess groceries are a little more important than movies. They're a little more necessary. But, and then the movies create this kind of, it's part of the whole entertainment economy. However, so I wonder how many people are just playing video games all their lives. I got addicted to them for a few years and now I'll never touch them again. It's ridiculous. It's a waste of time. It's a fantasy world. So many people are incredibly interested in living out these fantasy worlds. It's like, it makes me sad because the real world seems so incredible and complex, vibrant. There's the world that humans create is incredibly limited. There's almost no diversity. That if you going out into the hills and the mountains allows you to interface with so much more variability, so much more richness. And it's incredible that people, they want that richness. They want that richness, but they want it to be programmed so that they don't have to move. It's so bizarre. It's like people don't know how to interact with the real world because it's not set up as a game to them, or they don't realize that they feel that it's more important to develop this hand-eye coordination in this incredibly simple system, in this fantasy world that somebody else created. Yet, that still is much more productive and much more engaging than 3 decades before that, which was completely the zone of American time when people were hooked to the television screen, and there was one culture that everyone plugged into and watched and worshipped and were affected by. Everyone's sitting in front of a screen with 13 channels that all were essentially the same thing. The same shows. Everyone knew the same shows. And now, thank goodness, we can live multiple cultures. The internet is filled with hundreds and thousands of different microcultures and different social groupings that allow people to come together and really focus on things that they happen to be particularly interested in at the moment. It's still a form of, I guess that this is maybe where some of my own hesitancy is, where I need to develop some ideas more, because are social realities reality? That's I guess the question are the groupings that humans make even through virtual means, are those real in a sense? And it seems like they are and they aren't. So the way that people gosh, I'm in such an awkward position. The way that people group up together and engage in online games and interact with other people seems in a way to be real. These are real social relationships that people are making, even though they might not know the actual person involved, which is so much better than these kind of fake imagined relationships that people got into in the kind of TV addiction era. So that could be explored a little bit more. But I guess that I'm saying that this lack of productivity is interesting to be in. Like I think of myself as a pretty productive person. I try to, I've been a worker since I was 14. I've been a a creator. I like to make things pretty much every day, every week. If I don't make something, I go crazy. So this entering this world of laying around, sleeping all day, is really unusual to me. And I guess it makes me try to connect with my future self, because everyone knows that at the end of life, or even earlier, the body begins to shut down, and the mind, hopefully you can keep the mind around so that you can still engage in these social relationships. And the internet, yeah, I've thought this for a while, the internet hopefully will allow the generations of today to still be able to live vibrant lives in the resting homes of the future, as long as they have a good internet connection. I'll end with that.